Welcome on in, guys. This is Three Bold Takes. We're almost halfway through the regular season of college football. We have decided that we're going to stop and give you our college football playoff predictions halfway through the year. We did them in the summer. We're doing them now. We'll probably do them again conference weekend. For Chase, Freddie, and Quinn, we're excited to start. Freddie, me and you are vastly different here. My number 4 is Texas. Just mentioned in our previous video, I do think Texas is back. I'm going to slot Texas in here because I think they come back around, beat Oklahoma, and they have a couple things happen in front of them to slot in and jump in at 4. Yeah, you know what? I'll just leave that one there. Number 3, the Tar Heels. I think North Carolina, they're 12 now. They're 12 now. They're 12 now. They're 12 now, right? They're going to beat Florida State in the ACC championship game, a top 5 team. They're going to keep winning on their schedule. They got to play Miami this week. They've got to they play Duke and they play Clemson. I think they will be. This is kind of the one where they will be kind of like how you mentioned with Alabama for you, Freddie. But they're going to be undefeated though. Texas is a 1 loss. That's why they're at 4. I think USC will be around that 5, 6, 7 spot and be able to jump in over as Florida State pops out to 3. So this also means that Drake May is going to be a Heisman conversation guy, all this other stuff. So this is a huge season for North Carolina. Number 2, I was very surprised at you here, Freddie. I'm very actually disappointed. I'm going Michigan. I think Michigan ends up winning against Ohio State this year. And I think Michigan's going to be slotted in at 2. And then 1, of course, I'm going to leave it at Georgia. I think that one's it's really easy. So my 3 and 4 are a little off ball, but I truly do believe in both of those. So Quinn, Freddie, y'all are both laughing.
I'll take
I was Kevin Hart. So
I'll take this one first. So last week I made a big mistake. Freddie, do you want to remind the people what my mistake was last week?
You said Texas was back.
Okay, so Chase just did his own version of Texas is back on this show. He finally spoke North Carolina's success. Not just spoke it, but shouted it into the universe. And I that's going to be my first issue. I don't think North Carolina has what it takes to get through the ACC. I think they're going to slip up somewhere. I don't even think it'll be the Florida State game. I think they're going to slip up somewhere in the regular season. I think it might be Duke, especially if Riley Leonard's back. I think that's a trip-up game for him. My other issue is the Michigan take. I see where you could wiggle with the Big Ten, but a spoiler for me is I think Michigan settles at the bottom of the Big Three this year.
Stop.
I don't think they're permanently dead, though. I think Michigan stays around as a contender for a long time. But I do think they're at the bottom of the Big Three.
I just carved my heart out writing Michigan down because I did not
want to. Who have they beat, Chase? Who have they beat to make you so confident?
But it's not that. It's that I'm unconfident in both Ohio State and Penn State. Penn State, whatever. Ohio State barely beat Notre Dame, who just got throttled by Louisville.
That's not fair. Hold on. That's not fair. Ohio State went into Notre Dame, beat Louisville at the peak of Notre Dame went into Notre Dame and beat Notre Dame when Notre Dame was still relaxed. Notre Dame has now been on the back end of a double road stretch in pretty decent competition, and they got caught up against Louisville. That's what I think happened.
And that may be so, but still, at the end of the day, Notre Dame is no longer a threat to the college football playoff. So that win significantly drops you down. And so Ohio State has played very shakily over the first half of this season. And I think Michigan, even though they haven't played amazing quality teams, they have still been very sound in their game. So
if you're willing to give that nudge to Michigan, why not Penn State? Penn State's played non-impressive Power 5 competition, but they've played incredibly, they've still played Power 5 competition minus one, or I think just the Delaware game. And they've won all of them super convincingly.
And to that, I say, here's a cookie, because looking at track records, Michigan has been successful over the past 2 to 3 years compared to Penn State.
I'm so sick and tired of that.
I hope so. It's going to keep being said until Penn State shows me anything besides losing to the other big three.
Has Michigan and Jim Harbaugh not taught you that history really doesn't mean all that much? You were so against Jim Harbaugh and Michigan for the longest time. And what did they do? They beat Ohio State 2 years in a row.
Right.
You, as being a prideful man that you are, I would assume that you wouldn't put your pride on the line like this just to be destroyed, because that's what's going to happen this year.
I will welcome it. And honestly, I will buy a Penn State hat, shirt if they beat either of the two, because I don't think they will.
You won't.
want them to that.
I'll
for sure.
I will buy
a white hat with the block state across the top.
And you have to make an apology video to James Franklin and the entire university. That's what you got to do.
Okay, I'll do that.
I think the apology video is if he beats both. I think the hats if he beats one, the apology video if he beats both.
I'll do it. I'm more set on Michigan being a quality team over both Penn State and Ohio State. And that actually hurt because usually I'm going Ohio State more than Michigan. But Ohio State's just kind of struggled. They haven't really figured it out. So
you've got me so flustered. I completely forgot you have North Carolina in your playoff, and we're 6 weeks into the year.
We are.
I mean, I hope the comment section just absolutely destroys you, because that's not going to happen. And we just did a whole video talking about the ACC. And what did I do? I hyped North Carolina up. Oh, my God. I was so pro North Carolina. But the playoffs, brother, man, no.
Out of all four, that one's probably the least likely one to happen. But I am going to stick to my guns. In that video, I said that North Carolina can beat Florida State. I think they can. And an undefeated ACC champion over one loss Texas, one loss Alabama. I mean, unless there's 4 undefeated teams ahead of them.
I think they can, but they won't. I'm sorry.
I think they're pretty good.
Hey, listen, this North Carolina goes back to the Talking Heads days, okay?
Oh, yeah.
So I've got to commend you for it. You're sticking to your guns. You're still on the bandwagon train. But I'm afraid that when Drake May leaves, so will you. So
probably. But we're gonna ride that with Drake May. That's what we're gonna do. Because Drake May is definitely going to the draft this year. And if any year, this is the year, man. If you could replace that 1 year that I got on the hype train from Sam Howell to Drake May, they could have been in conversations that year. But, I'll just leave it at that. Thank you guys for watching our college football playoff predictions. Of course, definitely some crazy ones in there and some heated discussions. Make sure to watch those videos, send them to people, talk to us about it, see what you like. Tell us also who you may have in your college football playoff predictions. For Freddie, Chase, and Quinn, we're signing off.